3. I'm hoping to be able to teach you a maths lesson today. First one this week. I'm going to upload a video every day for you, following my maths lessons on time. Now I know we've done a little bit of work on time, but we haven't done very much. So we're going to be focusing on teaching time for the next 2 weeks. Now, I'm hoping that while you're watching this video, you can also have a go at the lesson yourself. So to get to the lesson, you need to log in to My Maths, and you should get to this page. Now, you don't need to go to My Portal login. You don't need to log in on your own login. We want this page, and we want you to go to Measurement. And under Measurement, you will see lots of lessons under this measurement. Now, we're going to start with the Year 2 lessons. The reason why we're starting with the Year 2 lessons is it's been a long time since you did time in Year 2. So we're going to go through the Year 2 lessons this week, and then next week we'll do the Year 3 lessons, and we might even do a Year 4 lesson. See how you're getting on. Okay, so after you've done the lesson with me, you need to log in to your My Portal and complete the online homework. You'll have a different homework every single day related to the topic that we're covering in the lesson. So our first lesson is introducing clocks, which you can see here. So you can do this with me. I will go through the lesson, but you could also have up on your own computer with me. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to do the lesson. The online homework will be set for you through your My Portal login. So the lesson, and it's opening it in a new tab. And today we're looking at the introduction of clocks, introducing clocks. Okay, so first page. What time is this? I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to answer. I can see that the smaller hand, which is the hour hand, is pointing to a 7, and that the longer hand, which is the minute hand, is pointing to the 12. And what it's pointing to 12 means o'clock. So this time is 7 o'clock. The time is 7 o'clock. What about this time? Both hands are pointing to the 12, so it must be 12 o'clock. The time is 12 o'clock. Wow, this one, the minute hand's not pointing to the 12 anymore, it's pointing to the 6. Now, this is a good way of remembering. We know that 6 is half of 12. 6 is half of 12, so it must be half past the hour. Half past hour. Now we need to work out what hour is. So we look at our hour hand. It's between the 3 and the 4. So it's half past 3. Half past 3. This one, again, we know it's half past because it's pointing to the 6, and it's between the 9 and the 10. It is half past 9. The time is half past 9. Final one, we know it's half past because it's at the 6, and we know that our hand is between the 6 and the 7. It's half past 6. The time is half past 6. Next slide. Okay, so match up the tiles with the same time. Now you can pause this video and go into your own lesson and complete it. Okay, I'd like you to do that now. And now I'm going to show you the answers. This one I can see that the hour hand is at 10 and it's an o'clock. So this one must be 10 o'clock. I can see that this one, the hour hand's at the 12, so it's o'clock, and the minute hand's at the 12, and the hour hand's at the 2, so it's 2 o'clock. This one, the hour hand's at the 3, and the minute hand's at the 12, so it's 3 o'clock. This one, the minute hand's at the 12, hour hand's at the 6, 6 o'clock. This one, the minute hand's at the 12, the hour hand's at the 8, 8 o'clock. And finally, this one must be 7 o'clock. It says you've got them all. So we're going to go to the next slide. It says match the clocks to the time. So now I want you to pause the video again, go and try it on your own in your own lesson, and then mark it and see if you got it right. If you haven't got the video open, I'm going to go through it with you now. Okay, so you can see the hour hands at the 6 and the minute hands at the 12. So this must be 6 o'clock. This one, the hour hands at the 12, so it's an o'clock, and the minute hands at the 12, so it's an o'clock, and the hour hands at the 9 o'clock. Now, we know we've got 7:30 and 3 o'clock left. Even if we didn't have the hour hand, we would be able to know the answer to this one, because even if you covered up the hour hand, you would know that the one with the minute hand pointing to 12 must be the o'clock, 3 o'clock, and the one with the hand pointing to the 6 must be the 7:30. Mark it. All correct. Well done if you got all that right yourself as well. So, what's the time on a digital clock? Now, we call this type of clock, which you might see on a wall, or remember we've got one at the back of our classroom, is an analog clock. You can repeat that after me, analog clock. Some of you might have seen a digital clock, which you might have beside your bed on a bedside stand, or often on a phone or a tablet or a computer. There will also be a digital clock. You can actually see one at the bottom of my computer here. There is a digital clock, that is the time and day. Okay, so next, 9 o'clock is shown as 9:00. Okay, that is 9 o'clock. This one, we know it's not going to be a 00 because it is not pointing to the o'clock, the 12. Now, each one of these little dots represents 1 minute. Each big number represents 5 minutes. So if we count, if this is 0, we can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We know there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So when the minute hand is pointing to the 6, which is half an hour, we know that must be 30 minutes. So the hour hand's pointing between the 7 and the 8. I know that it's 7 o'clock and how many minutes? Half an hour, because it's half past, which is 30 minutes. So it is 7:30 or 7:30, which will be shown on a digital clock as 7:30. And you can either read that as 7:30 or you can read it as 7:30. This one, more tricky this time. We're going to count up together. If this is 0, we have 5, 10, 15. So we know it is 15 minutes past now, which is quarter past an hour. And the hour hand is between the 6 and the 7. So it must be quarter past 6 or 15 minutes past 6. So if I go to next, it is shown as 6:15. Final one. Let's count up together. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. We know it must be something 45. Now we know that our hand is between the 9 and the 10. Now I know it looks closer to the 10, but it's not 10 o'clock yet. It's still 9. 9:45. It's very confusing that, because a lot of you, I think, might say 10:45 because you can see it's close to 10, but it's not reached the 10 yet. It's still quarter of an hour until 10 o'clock. Okay, if this carried on up here, then it would reach 10 o'clock. It's not there yet, so it's 9:45 or quarter to 10. Let's have a look how it's shown. 9:45. Okay, we're going to have another lesson looking more deeply into this. So if you didn't follow all of it, that is okay, because we have got a lesson coming up on it. Okay, so I'm going to want you to pause the video now and have a go at this on your own. Mark it, and I will also do the same. Okay, so I'm going to go through this now. We can see this is 10 o'clock because you can see that there's a 0, 0 and it's 10. This one, 4:45, and that must be 4:45 because we know if you added on another quarter of an hour, it'd reach 5 o'clock. This one, 11:15. Now we know 15 means quarter past 11, and we know the 30 means half past, so that must be 3:30. Well done. Okay, so this one, there are 10 questions that you can do. You need to drag the hour and minute hand. So you can see here it's going around, okay? So I'm going to set the clock for 4:15. So I know that the hand needs to be between 3 and 4, and 4:15, we know the minute hand needs to be on the 3. Okay. Oh dear, I've got it wrong. 4:15. See, what I've done is I put it between the 3 and the 4, which means this shows 3:15. It's not 3:15, it's 4:15. So I need to move it around a whole nother hour. Okay, a whole nother hour later would be 4:15. Silly Miss Mulatto. Right, well done. Okay, now I want you to do the 10 on your own now. I'm not going to go through them all because I don't want to make this video too long. So you can do that on your own, and there might be a task on that in your homework as well. So you can also try this one on your own, which is looking at the times. Think about it. Remember, the 12 must be o'clock. The 6 must be half past the hour. The 3 must be quarter past the hour. And the 9 must be quarter to the hour, or 45. So 3 is 15. 0, 0, 45, 30. Okay, because we're counting up in 5s. Each big number represents 5 minutes. Each little dot represents 1 minute. Again, we're going to cover that more in a later lesson. Okay, so these ones are written out in words. You don't have a clock, you have words, and you have a digital number. Okay, so I want you to pause it and give it a go, and then I will also do the same. So, as you can see, I'm going to start with the easy ones, which are o'clock, because we know those end 0, 0. So 3 o'clock must be 3, 0, 0. 6 o'clock must be 6, 0, 0. Okay. Oh, we've got one more. 7 o'clock must be 7, 0, 0. Now I'm going to do the half past, because I know that's a 30. 9:30 must be 9:30. 8:30 must be 8:30. And now I'm left with the quarter twos. This is more tricky because it's not going to be 5:45. It's not going to be 6:45 because it's still going to be 5. It's going to be 5:45 because we've still got quarter of an hour until it's 6. It's quarter of an hour to 6 o'clock. So we know that one's 5:45. So quarter to 2 must be 1:45, and quarter to 12 must be 11:45. So, final job. You can play this yourself. It says beat the clock. Answer as many questions as you can, 2 minutes. Okay, if you want to, you can tell me on the blog how many you get, and we'll see who can get the most in the class. So that concludes our first video lesson. And now I want you to log into your portal here and do your online homework. You have a different one each day, a different video each day, a different homework each day. I hope you're all well, and I'm looking forward to teaching you tomorrow.